What is going on, guys? Simulation here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the upcoming Madden 21, which the cover athlete was just recently announced, and it's going to be Lamar Jackson, which is really no surprise there, being that Patrick Mahomes was already previously selected, and I honestly don't think they've ever done a dual selection or a back-to-back selection for the cover athletes ever before. So in this video, I'm going to be kind of talking about what is known so far about Madden 21 and what we would like to see out of it. I think with the Madden franchise, and this really goes for a lot of sport franchises, they come out in games each year. It can seem kind of repetitious. I don't think they really have too much to add from year to year. But I think Madden 20 was a solid game as it is, which of course I'm playing here in the background. But I think Madden 21 definitely has a lot to build off of as far as the career mode. I don't play too much of the ultimate mode myself, so I don't really know too much about it. I of course know what it is and know what you can do and everything. I just don't focus on it too much. Tend to stick more towards the career mode and online competition, stuff like that. But for what we kind of know about the Madden 21 so far, we know that they're going to have a Face of the Franchise 2.0 mode, really building off of the original Face of the Franchise mode that they came out with here in the Madden 20. What that is of course the career mode for those of you who don't know, who are thinking of kind of purchasing potentially Madden 21 for your first game here. It's the career mode. You basically start in high school, go through college, the combine, and then eventually make it into the NFL, where you can of course be drafted to potentially your favorite team, or just whatever team happens to pick you, and then you can get traded around, contract negotiations, all of that stuff. So what really falls short, in my opinion, on Madden 20 with that mode is there's not really much controllability as far as contract negotiations go. That is something I really wish they would add to the game coming up, and if they don't add it in this game, they should eventually add it. I think the game really lacks as far as how much customization you can do as far as the contracts go. That's a huge part of what goes into what team a lot of these players land on. And I know the agent primarily does that, but there's not really any demonstration on the screen of that communication between the player and the agent, or what the player is really seeking. I think that'd be something that's important. They kind of need to make it a little bit more elaborate. It seems a little repetitious when you just kind of go into free agency, get offers from 3 teams, and they're fixed offers. You can't negotiate with them. That's that, and then you're gone. And it doesn't matter anyways. Negotiating literally means nothing in this game because you don't really care how much your player's making. You're just trying, to play. So maybe if it meant something as far as an NBA 2K, your salary means you can buy different types of clothing that you can wear in the game or in the My Neighborhood area. Maybe if they added something like that, I don't know if that'd be, straying a little bit too close to the, 2K franchise. It might be. I guess leave in the comments if you think that's a good idea. I think that's kind of what I'm looking at, is they should really add something like that just to make it a little bit more, what's the word I guess I'm looking for? Just a little bit more in-depth, a little bit more user control, and, a little bit more, just participation, I guess, by the player into what it all means for their my player in the game. What we also know is that it looks like you're gonna have more free control over the actual ball carrier in the game. I think it was already pretty good to start off with. I don't know why it's such a big deal each time they update this. I don't really know how much more anybody can want from this. I think at a certain point it gets too arcade-like. And I think, a lot of players definitely appreciate the arcade-like feel of some of those game modes. I think when you're looking for realism, though, which, of course, Madden in, some form, depending on how you want to play it, is a simulation, especially in the, My Career mode, and if you're running seasons, stuff like that. You're looking for the most realistic experience. I think you're going to look for more of the arcade and the exhibition style games if you're just looking to literally run up, 700 yards, 20 touchdowns on a team. That's not really too realistic. That's at least what I'm looking for in the My Career modes. That's something that they need to watch for, at least, and not make it too unrealistic. I think the Superstar X Factor, which of course is coming back in Madden 21, I think that can be a little bit overbearing at times, a little unrealistic. I mean, I've seen players make catches, do things that there's no way they could ever do in real life. And that really takes away from the game, kind of is irritating a little bit. And I think you have the capability of turning that on and off, which is, good. I think that's good on their part. I'm not certain on that you can turn it on and off, but I think I've seen a area in the settings where you can do that. That would be, fantastic to carry over. Or just make it a little bit more realistic, and then we won't even have to worry about it. But yeah, to really build on what I was talking about with that whole career mode, I remember a couple games ago, I can't recall which one it was specifically, but you had a cell phone where you got texts from your agents. You had a couple things like that that would kind of go on. It made it feel a little bit more personable. Feel like you're kind of involved as far as that goes. I recently did a video on NASCAR, the NASCAR Heat Series that's going to be coming out in July. And just to mention it really quick here, the Madden game is going to be coming out late August like usual. I believe it's the 28th and 25th for the MVP version, 28th for the standard version. In the NASCAR game, which I was referencing in that last video, there was a game where you could basically set up times to go autograph things for fans. You could go interact with the fans, interact with sponsors, do sponsor deals, stuff like that. Almost like you can do in NBA 2K now. And those things just add to the whole career mode, so you're not just sitting there and, sign your standard contract that means nothing to you, play through 4 or 5 seasons, win 5 championships because it's that easy. And then, you just keep doing it. It gets boring, I think, in my opinion. I might be wrong, and you guys, of course, are entitled to have your own opinions. I guess that's the, great part about playing video games. We all view it differently. Of course, some people are going to agree, some not. But I think, adding to it is really what a lot of fans are looking for, especially in that My Career mode. I think that's what a lot of us purchased the game for in the first place. I think that's where they're falling short on. I think, a lot of people are not going to be buying the game from year to year and maybe once every 3 years just for that reason, because they're not updating it quick enough. And I don't think it's worth $60 every year. And of course, I'm still going to be suckered into buying it just because I'm curious as to, what it looks like, and I'm, a huge football fan, so I'm just going to be buying it anyway. I just think they really need to build on the career mode. They need to update it and make it a little bit more fun. Add things like potentially a My Neighborhood, let you control the negotiations a little bit more, and make it, mean something when you sign these contracts. Make it a little bit easier to get into the Hall of Fame. I can't tell you, the legacy score system, I feel like, in my opinion, is pretty messed up. I've won, 7, 8 championships, a bunch of MVPs, and I'm still like a quarter of the way to Tom Brady's, and I'm not sure what I'm missing there. I think they either overvalue him or they're undervaluing what you can do, so it's almost impossible to make it to there. And then, even when you're not in the My Career mode just for being a player, if you're doing the owner mode or the coach mode, there's stuff they can build on there too, making the negotiations a little bit more difficult. You just kind of set an offer out there, and then there's no counter offer. You just kind of get rejected. You can see where other teams are bidding at, and in the real world, you might not be able to see that. So it'd be interesting to see like rumors of what teams are going after, what the player has said that he's interested in, and things like that. What you can offer to the player. Maybe he even wants to come, to your location. Maybe he's like a, wants to live in warm weather type guy, so he's gonna come to either Florida or California potentially. That would be all things that they could add and make it a little bit more realistic. Of course, guys, that's my opinion on it. There's not much known about the features coming out. That's all we know really to this point is the updated hit stick, the updated control of the player, as well as the incoming Face of Franchise 2.0. But I figured I'd touch base with you guys there. I'm going to do a couple more videos as it gets closer and we learn a little bit more. And then, of course, when it comes out, I'll be covering that as well. I'm also going to talk about NHL and the NBA upcoming games, as well as keep touching on some of the NASCAR. And I, in my previous video, I did a Fortnite video, so I'm kind of just all over the place, just trying to do a lot of it here. Definitely leave in the comments what videos you guys do like and what you do like to see me play, just so I have kind of a general idea. I'm just trying to get kind of my content out there and see what it is that people actually like. I kind of am getting an idea so far. But I just want to make something that's entertaining to people. I don't want to, just kind of spin my wheels. So, definitely leave me a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, of course. Give me some tips, pointers, and what games you of course, like to see me play. But I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this video, and I will see you next time.